privileged servants commissioned here used the fountain in this section called the Dome with Fountain for ablution and sometimes performed their prayers on the platform. On the doors, the name of Sultan Mehmet the Conqueror is inscribed in relief. The door to the privy chamber is mother-of-pearl inlaid and made by the master mother-of-pearl inlayer Sedifkar Vasif Usta during the restoration works in the early 20th century. There is a Persian poem by Mevlana Rumi on the door. All the doors are closed except yours, so that the poor find no way to anyone but you. Door of grace and glory, O light-emitting door, the sun, the moon, and the stars are all your humble servants. The walls of the sofa are covered with tiles as far as humans can reach. The mixed tiles are dated from the 16th and 18th century. In the sofa with fountain, considered the entrance, some objects relating to Kaaba are on display. After the sacred relics were moved to Istanbul, Sultan Selim the Grim initiated the tradition of sending keys from Mecca and Medina to Istanbul. The names of sultans of that era, dates, verses from the Holy Quran, and various poetic verses are inscribed on the gold and silver inlaid keys and locks. Also displayed are the wooden lock and key of the door of the entrance to the room of felicity of Prophet Muhammad. Two gold-covered wooden rain gutters from the Kaaba are on display near the platform of the sofa with fountains, one on the left and the other on the right side. Walid bin Abdul Malik first ordered the rain gutters at the Kaaba to be covered with gold in the 18th century. The gutters, also known as Mizab al-Kaaba, were used to drain rainwaters. The gutter on the left is 261 centimeters in length, and the name Sultan Ahmet I and the date 1621 is written on it. The gutter on the right is 275 centimeters in length, and the name of Sultan Murad IV, along with his genealogy, is written on it. On the platform, in the glass display at the left corner, the golden cover for the black stone of Kaaba is on display. It was brought here during a restoration work of the Kaaba. The golden cover weighs 14,600 grams. The black stone of Kaaba is a 1.5 meter black stone standing at the eastern corner of the Kaaba. It is believed that the stone is from heaven. The black stone of Kaaba, which was placed at its current location to indicate the starting point of the Tawaf by Prophet Abraham, was considered holy by Arabic tribes as well. The Prophet Muhammad respected this stone because it is a memento from the Prophet Abraham. The upper part of the cover was broken, and the missing part was replaced by lead in the 17th century during Sultan Murad IV's era. It was then plated with silver and gilded in gold. One leaf from the Door of Repentance is on display on a platform in a display case on the right-hand corner. door was replaced in 1592 after a restoration of the Kaaba by Sultan Murad III, brought to the palace and inscribed as follows. This is the door of repentance in the house of God, which was brought here in the year 1001 of the Muslim calendar during the restoration of Kaaba. The small model of the Kaaba, together with the soil covering the ground in the display window, was brought here from Mecca. Today, the Holy Kaaba is a rectangular stone room, 17 meters in height, located in the middle of Masjid-e-Haram in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. Muslims pray in the direction of Kaaba, which was built in Mecca by Ibrahim and his son Ismail by orders of God. After the construction of the Kaaba, Abraham invited people for a pilgrimage, and he made the first pilgrimage with his son Ismail. One of the 5 stipulations of Islam is to go on pilgrimage to Mecca and turn around the Kaaba. In the past, it took months to go to and come back from a pilgrimage in Mecca. It was very dangerous for a sultan to leave his state and army for months. For these reasons, the highest authority on religious affairs laid down the law that Ottoman sultans would not go on the pilgrimage to Mecca, and they would send another person in their stead. It is one of the most important requirements of the pilgrimage to stay waqfi on Mount Arafat during the pilgrimage season, on the eve of sacrificial festive day in Medina, during the time period starting from high noon until the dawn of the first day of the festival. At this very moment, the Ottoman sultans turned around a model of Kaaba in Istanbul because they could not go to Mecca. The 6 swords of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, placed 3 on each side of the entrance to the audience hall, are standing upright inside the displays like guards. The sword of Zubair bin Awam. This sword is 103 centimeters in length and weighs 1 kilogram, 234 grams without the scabbard. There are 2 silver dots on its flat and pointed blade. Zubair bin Awam. He was the son of Safiya, aunt of the Prophet Muhammad, and also one of the 10 heralded with heaven in life. He was one of the first Muslims and participated in all the wars. He was martyred while performing his prayers by Ibn-e-Jarmuz in 656 when he was 67.